Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chop Talk. I am your co-host, the kind of sore Andre C. Right over here, it's the straight out of the bath princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Oh, I almost sounded badass there for a second. Straight out of the bath. Yeah. I'm surprised I don't look like a lobster. I definitely like to keep my water temperature in my baths and my shower on the seventh or eighth level of hell. So I'm surprised I'm alive right now. I had a great back day. It was a little short because got to get out of there by a certain time. But an interesting Monday so far. Andre, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a great Monday. Talked some Ghostbusters with that actor guy Alex and Bobby Munson over on LLA. It was a great time chatting it up with those two, getting to talk some Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It was a great time.
Yes. Good old Ghostbusters. That takes me back. Takes me back in the day.
Oh, we reminisced a bunch on the show. I know Mel wasn't watching because she was in the bath. So
I was. I mean, you gotta self-care sometimes. You know, if nearly drowning yourself a few times is self-care. I succeeded. Oh my gosh, my hands are so white. Oh my goodness. My friend, we watched some wrestling.
Yeah, we did. We watched some top talent wrestling this past Friday. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here on Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. Thank you so very much for joining us here. Whether it's on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or Backbreaker Video, thank you so much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please keep sharing out the videos, tell your friends, family, strangers, and weird little creatures from all across the universe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can alert every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Maybe keep the weird little creatures to yourself, so. Girls got enough problems.
The weird little creatures probably be more want to hang out with you than me.
Yes, I am the weird little creature, aren't I?
No, just weird little creatures tend to want to hang out with you. From what I've noticed, anyways.
You came out of your mouth, not mine.
I guess I'm one of them, but
Hey, I mean, the Horde is a vast and plentiful people.
Yeah, we have the Horde, which we just indoctrinated.
Whom do we serve?
We just pulled another member into the Horde because she didn't know she was part of the Horde, but now she knows she's part of the Horde.
Oh, there's plenty of Horde members who don't know they're a member of the Horde, but they just have to pick up their membership card.
Yep. I should actually make membership card. This says the Horde on them. and then our YouTube link.
This will be a story for another time, I think. Next time on Andre and Melball's Chop Talk.
The Horde
memberships.
The Horde membership.
Join the Horde.
Join the Horde. Yeah, we're here to talk some local independent wrestling top talent featuring former AEW Superstar Mike Santana. During this match, y'all were cheering Santana, and I'm just going, Mike. I kept having Nathan behind me going, come on. And Alyssa would yell over, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I don't even understand that reference.
Well, he's Mike Santana, so I'm just chanting Mike. Everybody else is chanting Santana.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Mike.
I just knew him as Santana.
He's Mike Santana. Born nasty.
Come on. This is not the show that I usually watch. I'm not an AEW girl. I never have been. And, it's going to take some effort for me to be. But he's cute.
He was always Santana for his TNA run and most of his AEW run. It's only when he returned from injury that they started calling him Mike Santana. So,
Big Mike.
That's another guy we don't. That's a guy we don't talk about in professional wrestling anymore.
Oh.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know off air.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the show from Friday, March 22nd. Absolutely phenomenal show. I had a great time in this night. Getting to hang out with the Horde and just watch some great professional wrestling. Great night. we kicked the show off with the match. I started watching and I completely forgot to take notes until the end because I was just like sitting there being a fan. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm supposed to write. I'm the note taker because you did all the notes on the last show because I wasn't even there, so
Yeah.
didn't work in my brain.
I mean, and I didn't take any notes either. I was just enjoying the moment because the amount of times that I nearly dropped just everything that I had was just ridiculous. If it wasn't my purse, it was my phone. If it wasn't my phone, it was my jacket. If it wasn't my jacket, it was my smokes. If it wasn't my smokes, it was something else. Like it was ridiculous. I was just chaotic that night. So we're going
Yeah,
by memory.
yeah. I have some. When they're this match was a good match. It seemed a little bit off at times. I mean, you spoke about this. Um,
Mhm.
it never felt like these two quite meshed perfectly, but it didn't make it a bad match. They still had a fine match here. It seemed like it's just something was off with these two. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, there was a very interesting chemistry issue kind of going on. I mean, TY, I mean, we're big fans of TY. At least I know I am. His work is always consistent and he's always very, very good at what he does. Oh,
Yeah, we did it.
yes.
We did it.
Um, Mo is someone we've kind of been privy to, but he is in another city, doesn't tend to come up here very much to see us. So this was the first time seeing him in the ring for me in a while. I think the last time I saw him was the LPW show a few months ago.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. It was last year at LPW was the last time I saw Mo work. Yeah.
yeah, and before that, I really couldn't tell you. It might have been before COVID, just because separation and territories and craziness and whatever.
Before for me
Um,
would have been like the early LPW shows before you had started coming to those.
before, yeah.
Um, yeah, that's when I saw him before we saw him last month, and then yeah, but before that
Hmm.
would have been PWA.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't really I follow him on his social, so I see stuff that he's doing with Dungeon and all that, and I see the match cards. I see less clips. I'm seeing more now, which is nice. But yeah, I had high expectations for this match because both these guys very talented, very good at what they do. But yeah, you're right. It was just kind of like as I said after the show, I was like, overall, the show was phenomenal. There was not a match on this show for me that lacked in anything. It's just this one was just only okay, which disappoints me because I love TY. But you brought up a very good point about
Mm.
what you thought was wrong with this one.
Yeah, but the thing what bothered me most is why the crowd was like very weird. There was Jabari fans cheering for Jabari in the match,
Mhm,
but like he came out. So Ty comes out and he's high fiving the fans and stuff as he's doing, but he's usually a heel. So I was like, okay, he's high fiving the fans. Okay, that was odd. Um, he gets in, and then Mo comes out wearing his Bret Hart special Hitman shirt or jersey, and
mhm.
then like he has the jersey, and Ty starts making comments about it, and then so Mo takes his shirt, gets up on the rope and holding it up, and the entire crowd boos him twice because he's holding up a Calgary Hitmen jersey, the Bret Hart special one. But yeah, so. And then so Ty then who
Sorry,
is
real quick to cut in for context. We are not Calgarian. This is why
no
this was a
no
problem.
yeah
We are
so yeah
Edmonton.
it's
We are
Edmonton,
enemies with Calgary.
the city of Edmonton booing Calgary's WHL team because we have our own WHL team in the Oil Kings.
Mhm,
So and then so Ty has starts so Ty who's supposed to be the heel here and now Bo's getting booed. He starts to insult us, and like I was going to cheer for Ty regardless, no matter what.
mhm.
But then the crowd, it seemed kind of weirdly split. It wasn't even they weren't even cheering for Ty. It's just some were cheering for Mo. The rest were kind of like there. Eh,
What do we do?
Like
Yeah, it was a
at least
little
from our
conflicting.
section, listening from our section. I don't know if you listened from a different area if it had sounded different, but from our
Mm.
listening, it sounded yeah.
Yeah, which is disappointing again because I had a lot of hope for this match because we know the consistency and hard work of T.Y. Jackson. We've
Mm.
seen him killing it in these King of the Triple Threat kind of matches, and then now he's the Scramble champion over at LPW. He's been working very, very hard. In that documentary that he was part of, he's had a great year. Tremendous growth and evolution for him and his character. And Mo, I assumed that the what's the word, position that he has in Dungeon, I just kind of expected a little bit more out of him. He felt a little like I don't know if you got the same feeling, a little nonchalant in this one. Like he
A little
kind of
bit.
expected people to just get behind him. And it's like, you forget where you are. Edmonton, you
Yeah.
gotta earn it a little bit here. And if you don't earn it, we kind of are quiet. And it was a little quiet for this one, unfortunately.
There was like again. I only have like 3 notes for this match. There's a great center ring strike off where they were center, and it actually that
Oh
had
yeah.
some great intensity. And then there's Ty got Mo to the floor, and Ty dives onto Mo on the floor, and this is the first appearance of the Hole. So they have elevated the ring on the dance floor, but there's this gap of about like I would say couple feet around
Half
the
a
edge of the
foot. It's
platform.
half a foot,
Well,
maybe.
cat, and this is an Islamic cat.
Oh
Cat,
no, maybe a half. Maybe half.
I would say like a
Sorry,
foot.
a foot, a
I
foot.
would say like a foot of room. And
Yeah.
again, no slam. I'm not slamming cat because big person. I do not. But again, she also is a thicker person. Like
Jesse
she's
got
pretty
stuck in
beefy.
there too.
Jesse got stuck in there too. So yeah, like it's not a small section, but it's not like tiny. But it's like at least a foot, about a foot around the entire area between the
Mhm.
guardrail and the platform. It's just the part where Mo falls into the hole, and I'm like, we're just like, oh, and then the response from people just kept throughout the night, almost falling into the hole and falling into the hole. It was just insane.
I was yelling the whole show every time someone came out near me, watch out for the hole. This is what I mean.
mhm.
Watch out for the hole. Don't
uh,
die, please. We saw enough people get hurt.
So the end of the match comes. Mo hits an Enziguri to TY up top, hits the superplex. Both guys are down, but then Mo gets like laying, applies the sharpshooter laying, and then rolls and stands up into the sharpshooter. And
Mhm,
TY taps out, and Mo Jabari gets the victory.
mhm, mhm. I thought it was really cool ending though. The way he did kind of
Oh yeah,
stand up into that sharpshooter. That was really cool. Yeah. This was an interesting first opener match, but like I said, the whole show was solid. This was just the only one that was just only okay for me.
yeah. Again, and we're not saying it was bad. It was still a good match. It just
Yeah.
something just seemed off for me. Again, I'm a fan of TY. I love the guy, and I'm a fan. I like Mo Jabari. I think he's a good wrestler. It just
Mhm.
something just seems slightly amiss. I don't know. It was still good. I
Yeah.
still enjoyed the match though.
Same, same.
Yeah.
Of course, because we got to open up with like the best freaking music in
Oh,
this freaking company.
Necklace is back. Let's go. TY, use
Yes,
that everywhere.
please.
Everywhere. Unless you're coming out with Rich, then let his music play.
Yeah, we had a good time listening to that on the way home.
Oh yeah, we did. We listened to Necklace. We listened to Rich's music. We listened to a few people, a few local wrestlers.
Mhm.
With Barricades music. It was great. Great time on the way home.
Dean Richter,
Dean Richter. Yep, that's a great
I dug
music.
that. Hmm.
So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna talk some four corner elimination tag. It only says four corner tag here, but it was an elimination tag match. It
Hmm.
is Peyton Pryce and Rayden the Destroyer taking on Quinn Hawksley and Dean Richter versus Rylie Rose and the returning Rylie Rose and Christian Starr versus Big Jesse Youngblood and Kat Von Heez. Dean just launches Starr across the ring with this awesome German. Jesse with the big sidewalk slam and the salmon splash to Rayden the Destroyer. Well, I'm going to call anybody that just does the straight up splash from now on, call it the salmon splash.
Yes.
Peyton tries to choke Jesse, but he pulls like this rip, she tries to choke Jesse with
Oh,
this ribbon
the
she had pulled out of her sleeve. But then the ref like grabs it and starts pulling it, and and they do that clown spot of it, just the continuous ribbon. And
I
then
love that.
I think it was Avon was refing this, so he takes the ribbons and goes to toss them out to Ivan, and she pulls out another one and chokes Jesse with it. I thought just great, fun little spot for a character, the clown.
Smart thinking.
Yeah.
Smart thinking.
Jesse ends up pulling Peyton down. Like she grabs a kick and then like slams her into split, and she just goes, "Hey!" Then he just like curb stomps her into the mat.
Rude.
Oh, just rude. Figure four head scissors over the rope by Peyton Pryce to Quinn Hawksley at one point. A lot of this is just me talking spots in the match. Kat hits Rylie with a beautiful Samoan drop and then hits her with that senton for a 2 count. Kat goes for a superplex off the top, but Rylie knocks her off the top, hits this just gorgeous looking drop kick, just beautiful, like that classic Daniel Bryan style drop kick where you just come out, just boot the shit out of him. So good. Quinn kicks the rope out up from under Starr when he's on the ropes, and he crotches. It's just so mean, so mean.
Did she follow it up with a code breaker? She hit him on the rope, crotched him, and then hit him with a code breaker.
Or as I like to call it, because it's a double knee. She hit the MX, which is Bushi's MX. It's a double knee.
Yeah.
See, then
hits this out the corner though.
Then she pulls the Ruwaka out of her pocket and hits this running cross to the bottom rope in the corner, though.
I'm marked out for that move.
Yeah, and then she follows it up with this like pendulums. She goes up and then does that like Jeff Hardy when you go up and then you kind of pendulum like bring yourself down into the drop kick the person in the corner. I love that. I love that. So I'm so glad we get Quinn back. She's so good.
Yeah.
Dean has a dragon sleeper on Starr as all the ladies start fighting on the floor. Then Rylie goes to the top, hits a cross onto the floor. Jess gets tossed out. Rayden then picks up Starr, military presses him onto everybody on the floor. Then he grabs Dean, throws him through the ropes to everybody on the floor, and we're just screaming, "Watch out for the hole!" And then at one point, Kat fell in the hole. It was just, like, oh my god! It was just
with this where Starr scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, it will in a second. I'll get to that spot. Okay. It's the final spot out of all this. Rayden, of all people, then climbs up to the top, dives onto everybody on the floor. Then Jesse goes up to the second turnbuckle and hits a crossbody everything on the floor. And then Christian Starr and Rylie Rose get back into the ring. And they proceed to do the GODELP assisted rope walk into the moonsault on the floor. He crashes on the bar, everybody rolls over, stands up. And nobody was sitting in front of Mel at this point, and he's looking like right at her, and he stands up, and Mel just screams.
Okay, so here's my side of what happened.
Oh, so good.
This dive happened, and I was fully invested in this match because there's so many people in this match that I freaking love. So I'm sitting there and paying attention, I'm having fun. Starr does his dive, and Alyssa is sitting next to me. And she goes, "Ooh, look at this on my phone." And I go, "Ooh, shiny." So I'm distracted for like the splittiest of a split second. Starr comes up like a man possessed, and I was terrified of the man possessed. I just wasn't expecting the battle cry. So he's out there like, "Rah!" And I'm in my seat like, and I was so embarrassed that I laughed until I almost cried. It was great.
Yeah, so back in the ring, Rylie Rose gets like a kill switch position on Quinn Hawksley, like Christian Cage's kill switch, and Starr hits this double foot stomp to her, and they hit her with this like foot stomp kill switch combo. Look great. They eliminate Quinn Hawksley and Dean Richter here, and then Rylie Rose. I can't remember who they hit this on, but Rylie Rose hits this stunner, and then I think it was to Jesse, I want to say. She hits a stunner, which drops Jesse and Starr off the top. And you can see this on his Instagram. Highly recommend going over and checking out Christian Starr's Instagram. Hits this beautiful Phoenix splash, but then Rayden the Destroyer comes in, picks him off up here to stop an elimination, which I don't understand. It's not eliminating your teammate. Let him pin.
Yeah, this would have been one of those moments where you just stay on the outside and let him do his thing, then go in and let him eliminate him.
Yeah, and at this point, Rose is still a legal person. So I guess Rose would have to get the pin on at that point, but like he got involved right away. But the rest started counting with Starr on top. So I don't know. I don't think anybody was legal at this point. I think it was just like whoever gets a pin can get a pin. And he picks up Starr, choke bombs the shit out of him. And this is where Peyton comes off the top with a moonsault to Rylie Rose to eliminate her. The end of the match, so they take out Peyton. Jesse hits the Jesse driver to Rayden, and we get the win of Big Jesse Youngblood and Kat Von Heez. Again, incredible match.
Yeah, this was a very high energy match. I absolutely love this match. As I mentioned, very invested in this match because there's so many people that I like that were wrestling in this one. The team of Richter and Hawksley, I actually really enjoyed. Richter has really been stepping out of his comfort zone, showing a lot more expression, a little bit more personality in his wrestling as opposed to just kicking the shit out of people, which I like. Something that I've been critical of him in the past is that he seems to pull his shit. Couldn't see it in this one either. So the last two shows that I've seen with him, the RCW one and this one, he's been really planting in his stuff, really looking really, really good. It makes me really happy to see. Um, I was so happy to see Quinn back. Her music is the best. Love Flyleaf.
But
Um,
you like that better than TY's?
mm, don't make me choose because they're both on my workout music
And,
and they
and,
both.
and you like it more than Rich's?
Ooh, we. You know what reigns grand supreme over there is the person that we did not see on this show, which is Nasty Nate Nixon.
That's true. He has the best music of them all. It is very true.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really, really great to see Quinn back and missing her a little bit. We've seen her at the shows, but we haven't seen her like in the ring. So it's nice
Mm.
to see her in the ring again, roughing up the other girls and guys.
I hope we get to
Um,
see her at some RCW shows too.
that would be sick.
Yeah.
I would like that. Um, I find that the pairing of Peyton and Rayden very interesting. I would like to see more kind of built on that because you know how I like those weird ass factions with weird ass stuff.
Mm.
The clan thing just seems to work really well, and the kind of like maniacal, menacing giant that kind of stalks behind her is it's kind of like a giving me like what is that game? BioShock? With the big daddy and the little daughter thing, kind of giving me those vibes, which I would love to see expanded upon. Um, Rylie Rose and Chris Starr, like, gosh, diggity dang, those two new talents, and they're just so damn good. They wrestle like they've been wrestling for years and years and years, but to know that they haven't been, it's just so crazy. Um, the only thing that I had some issues with was this one, like, there was the right combination, I think. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. There was a right combination of experience and inexperience in this match. And I feel that the experienced ones did a really, really great job in helping the less experienced ones put on a very, very solid match.
Mm.
There were a few things, like you mentioned, Rayden breaking up that pin when he should have left the elimination to kind of happen. There was some kind of milling about that didn't make sense, where people were sitting there watching their partners get their shit wrecked while they were inside the ring with them. So something like that, I'd like to kind of see people just work on their milling about a little bit more, make the
Yeah,
distraction a little bit more distracting.
I agree.
Don't be staring at the stuff while it's happening, kind of like even if you weren't hit too badly, just oversell the hit a little bit to kind
Because
of let them have some time to do their stuff.
oh, literally Friday while I was working out with Rich, we literally were talking about this great meme video that some dude put out about all the different ways people sell when they're on the outside of a multi-person match. It's a great video.
Oh,
It's such a
are you
great.
talking about the guy with the big tattoo on his pec?
I don't know. It's just a dude who does all these great wrestling videos, and it's
And
this
it's
weird.
like sarcastic, kind of, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly who you're talking about. I saw the same video. Yeah.
so good,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Actually, that is a really
so
great
good.
example. Watch that and don't do those things, please.
Yeah,
But yeah, otherwise, super, super solid match. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't
I,
add too much to that. I really like this match.
again, awesome match, and I gotta give praise to Christian Starr. Every time I see him, he just is doing more and more that Phoenix Splash.
It's so good.
it's just and doing the ELP rope walk into the moonsault onto the floor. It's oh, he's so good. I'd really like to see
Mhm.
him and Son of Irish go 1-on-1. I think that would be just an incredibly like insanely high paced match. I want it
Oh
so badly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Run, jump, run.
Run, jump, run. We move on. It's Weston King with Gussy Jones taking on Ava Lawless. Again, a lot of my recaps. It's not like doing my thing where I can actually recap properly. I'm just giving spots. Ava sending King out to the floor, and she hits a tope suicida to him on the floor. Weston at one point just being a bully and just using his size advantage to beat up on Ava throughout the match, just tossing her around. She Ava at one point gets into the code red but can't get it, and then just rears back up and just throws everything into it and just whips them around into that code red for 2. Looked great. King's got a pretty sweet cannonball. I'll say that, because when he hit, he launched himself and Ava ran the way and he just crashed into the corner. I'm like, even the miss of that cannonball was pretty spectacular, man. And he landed on his head. It was pretty rough.
That's a Torah level cannonball right there. That's deadly.
Yeah, Ava gets a big old lariat and ropes, tries to twist the fate, but Weston turns it into a spine buster for 2. Ava gets out of a slam, hits a twist of fate for 2. Ava unloads on Weston with the forearm, just a rolling forearm, then muscles him up, gets that big scoop slam, but she only gets 2. Again, the crowd was like, yeah, when she finally, because she had been trying to lift him throughout the match and she wasn't able to get him to muscle him up. She finally got that scoop slam. It was just like big old, yeah, the crowd just got in for that. It's just a basic scoop slam. They were into it. Ref gets distracted
Simple but effective.
The ref gets distracted by Gussy, but Gussy inadvertently hits King with the crutch as he's trying to hit Ava. And she fights, gets a Canadian destroyer, does her flip over the rope senton splash, but Gussy pulls the ref after the 1, the 2, but he then yanks the ref out of the ring. Ava then hits a beautiful baseball slide to Gussy. I kind of mixed up Ava and baseball. It kind of all merged together for me. So I said A-ball. Ava hits the baseball slide to Gussy, taking him out. Weston then, she goes to the top, but Weston attacks her up top. She fights him off, but then Weston distracts the ref. Gussy comes back, hits Ava, and then Weston pulls her off the top into a pile driver, then picks her up, hits the lift up, the full Nelson slam, and Weston King is your winner. They're celebrating in the ring, and I'm just waiting. Like, come on, all right, where's Azrael? Where's Azrael? And he never came out. I'm like, I was kind of actually sad we didn't get an Azrael spot there.
Yeah, I guess the purge only happened for like a few months. Now we're done. I mean, hopefully we'll see him pop up and continue that story, or maybe they'll give us a explanation on what's going on with that. Something that we discussed that, well, two things we discussed. Let's start with Ava. I'd been mentioning, I was noticing a little bit of a disconnect with her in the crowd, particularly in Edmonton. Not so much in Calgary, because she's local in Calgary. She's going to have a huge fan base there. She did so good this match. It was like we had the old Ava back. She's interacting with the crowd, getting them fired up, beating on the mat, trying to get us excited. We saw her coming back into who she was. I just don't want her to go back. Keep going forward, girlie. We need this interaction with the crowd. It really keeps everyone behind you, especially when you're working with someone who, the second thing that we have to talk about, Weston King. Back with the personality. I'm telling you. RCW without Gussy, we saw a distinct lack of that pointy and the fun-loving character. We got Gussy back, and look what we got. Look what we got. It was so good. We got a Weston win. First of all, winning. Yes. But yeah.
Put up your W's.
Anyway, yeah, it really, for me, this match really showed, as we mentioned, Gussy is imperative to the character of Weston King. We didn't have that goofy Weston who was like, look at you mentioned it. He looks to Gussy a lot throughout the match, almost for the reassurance that he's not getting maybe from the fans.
Well,
I
he's
don't
almost
know.
ignoring. It's almost he ignores the crowd and plays to Gussy instead of playing to. He's like, screw you guys, I'm playing to my boy.
Yeah, they have the
How I feel.
strangest relationship. It's like they love each other, but they hate each other, but they want to work together, but they don't want to work together, but they
But
work
they
so
hit each
well
other with
together, but then
bats.
they right? They hit each
Yeah,
other's backs. Yeah. I mean, man, it's interesting to note how different Weston is with or without him. And this match really kind of showed it for me.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
One
Otherwise,
of those weird
super, super
points.
solid match.
Oh, super solid match. It really
Yeah.
good. But yeah, we're gonna move on. Quick mention from our champion who decided not to show up tonight. Mitch, pre-recorded video he sent in from he was on a set. Melball's favorite wrestler. She's the love of her life.
Love
It's
of my life. Former
Mitch
love of
Clark.
my life. I've moved on, but still.
You're not moving on. We know that. He would. He says in the video, well, he's not at the show. He said, I would have missed this for the world, and that you have a champion you can now be proud of. He says, Effie, Masha, Ava, fighting champions, and then the best line. And I'm sorry, but it was the best line. He goes, Omen, a champion for a minute. Just takes a shot at him. He says he will be a fighting champion, but he'll fight when he wants. And then some girl walks up to him and says, "Hey, you're needed on set," and he just leaves. I was just like simple. Gives props to some former champions. Takes a shot at Omen. Again, just great, great. Like Mitch is just so good. Like you watch him when he does the Tales from the Undercard. He has this just utter charm to him that you're just
Mm,
he's showing it here, like while being a
mm,
dick, but it's just weirdly charming at the same time. I don't know, it was great.
mm. I mean, how else do you describe love of my life, Mitch Clark? Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun little spot.
yeah. Just again, quick little video. Then we moved on. Um,
Mm,
so we're gonna move on to Tommy Billington versus Harlon Abbott. Oh boy, was this a great freaking match! I don't think I've
yeah.
seen Tommy have a bad match yet since I started watching him because I missed him in January. But like every match I've seen this kid work, he is so good. And again, every time you look at him, you see his uncle. He looks so much like his uncle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He looks like dynamite. It's crazy. Tommy slamming Harlan, slamming into Harlan, just repeatedly trying to shoulder block him down. And he finally, after one time, just builds up so much speed and just rockets him down at one point.
Mhm.
Harlan rolls out after being dropped a couple times. Tommy then hits his beautiful dive onto Harlan on the floor. I think this was where Harlan fell in the hole because he fell into the
Yes.
hole early in this match. Um,
Mhm.
they're wrestling around, a lot of good wrestling there. They do the crisscross spot in the ring, and then Harlan
Mhm.
just stops, grabs Tommy, pops him up, and then catches him into this like backdrop suplex. Oh,
Mhm.
that looked good.
So good.
He gets the X-Plex, which is that just lift up and release suplex that you see Pete Dunne and Moxley do. Um, Harlan stomping, just beating the piss out of Tommy, hitting these sick, loud chops. Tommy slips a suplex and then hits 5 German suplexes in a row, just dropping Harlan on his head every time. Harlan dumps Tommy over the top rope. And he hit. Oh no, sorry. This is where he hits a tope on the Tommy, and this is where Harlan falls into the hole.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was
How
so.
many times? Watch out for the damn hole.
Oh my god, so many holes. That's so dirty. Harlan gets back in the ring, hits a beautiful 450 splash, but Tommy kicks out of that 2.99. Tommy fights back, hits the knee drop off the top. Tommy hit he runs at Harlan, who gets on the rope, and he crossbody. He does it like almost like that Mick Foley just crashes onto a guy, but his is like more like a very crisscross body, taking Harlan over the rope to the top rope to the floor.
Mhm.
They go back and forth. They get back in the ring. Tommy goes up top, hits a drop kick, goes back up top, gets cut off. Harlan gets a superplex, and they pop, and then they They hit the and they roll over, pop up. Harlan's going for another, but Tommy takes over, suplexes Harlan. Just so good. They're trading center, strike to center, trading lariats. Harlan hits a super kick. Tommy hits a drop kick. Tommy gets a pile driver, but then Harlan kicks him when he goes as he's coming off the top for his like diving elbow or whatever it was. He kicks him. Harlan hits the F5, but can only get 2. He picks him up, as I'm going to call it, the healing driver, just up and crashes down with that double underhook pile driver. But Tommy kicks it at 2.999 again. Harlan transitions into the crossface, then turns it into the Rings of Saturn. And Tommy's fighting for the ropes, but he can't get there. So Harlan reaches his foot over and just starts booting Tommy in the face until he goes out. And the ref calls for the bell, and it's a knockout stoppage. And it's like the entire crowd was just like, "What?" But as I think about it, like that was insanely impressive because Tommy just would not give up, and Harlan had to literally beat the kid unconscious to beat him. Like that. That is. Like, the more I think about the finish, I'm like, that's actually a pretty solid finish. Afterwards, Harlan like goes to grab Tommy, and like Smalls gets in his face, and he just shoves Smalls over. He lifts him up, but then he raises the kid's hand, and it was like, again, great match. Like these two just flowed so well.
Yeah, like everything about it to the finish was great. The shit that happened after, I wasn't too impressed with. If you've done this like 3 or 4 times now, bud. If you're gonna turn on them, turn on them.
True.
Like, yeah. Otherwise, very, very solid match. Like, as you mentioned, Tommy Billington is just so fracking good. We haven't seen a bad match with him. He has struggled up until recently exhibiting a little bit of emotion and personality. But since he got into the ring with Nate, it was like Nate unlocked something in him. Soy Boy continued to unlock something in him. Dean Richter continued to, or not Dean Richter, Weston King continued to unlock that, and now Harlan is continuing to unlock that as well. We're seeing this consistent growth with Tommy here, both with his in-ring and with his personality. I'm kind of living for it. He's doing so good.
The kid is absolutely fun. His in-ring is one of the best wrestlers going right now, and his personality just he's got this crazy intensity now that he's just like gets so fired up, and it's so good. Like you're like, yes, I'm with this kid. Yes.
Yeah, it gives you a reason, even more of a reason to cheer for him.
Yeah. So we move in. King of the Triple Threats match. My trainer, Rich King, the Kody Garcia, and the king of the Triple Threats, Dalton Rogue. Again, I'm so happy to see Rich King here in Top Town Pro Wrestling. Rogue gets a disaster. Rogue gets a disaster king to Rich to King. Disaster kick to King. Blah, my words. Rogue suplexes Son of Irish onto Rich King. Rich is behind him, so Rich grabs him, and then somebody lands on his feet. But then Rich King does a backdrop suplex, and Kody rolls over Rogue, and then hits Rogue with a beautiful cutter. There's this beautiful Ospreay flips Rogue into a destroyer onto King, or onto flips him. Rogue hits a destroyer, and then King hits a Falcon Arrow on Rogue. It's just the craziness back and forth. It's just crazy here. Beautiful King hip tosses Soy Boy over himself, catches him, and then turns it into the final cut. I was like, yeah, let's go. Just crazy spots throughout. Rogue monkey flips Son of Irish onto King, who lifts up, tries power bomb, but then Son of Irish or Kody Garcia, whatever. It's hard. It's hard because it's two names. Kody then Rana's him, hits him with a Rana as Rogue's kicking Kody in the face. He's kicking Kody in the face as Cody's giving a Hurricane Rana to Rich King, and I'm like, yes, let's go. Just crazy stuff here, man. There's a spot where Kody was in the tree of woe, but on the second rope instead of the top, and Dalton just stomps the shit out of him into the mat. It looked just rough as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, again, the spots on the floor. Dalton stomps Son of Irish in the ropes, like smashing his face into the apron. Uh, Rich gets that beautiful final beat DDT to Kody in the ring for 2. He gets the angle slam to Kody, and then he goes for his 867 driver, but Rogue hits a boot to King's face. King then gets the 867 driver to Rogue, but then Kody splashes Rogue, comes off top splashing Rogue, and Rich hits Kody with the 867 driver, but he kicks out at 2.9. Inverted go to hell by Rogue to King, but Kody breaks that pin up. Kody then hits the Xavier Woods special, that front flip DDT. Like he grabs him in the DDT and then he flipped over and the other guy backflips into getting DDT'd to Rogue. It was like, oh, he gets a 2 count of that. Then he gets a springboard forearm to King for 2. Rogue and then Soyboy end up top. They're fighting. Rich hops up, belly to back suplex to Kody off the top. And then Rogue hits this beautiful stomp, like just this comes off like coup de grace style stomp to Rich King, and he steals the win and keeps his championship. Man, like just insanity. Like that 4-way was crazy, and then this just took it to another level.
This was very much like, for me, like a high-speed match in Stardom. It was like we were watching Azumi, Mei, and Koguma just whippity-dippity all around the place. It was crazy. Did you mention the leg sweep attempt? I think it was King tried to sweep Rogue's feet. He went into the handstand like Doki does on the apron, and then Soy Boy just kicked him in the face.
Yeah, that's where
he was in the handstand.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe I said it, put it up wrong. I think that's where somebody came off with like a stomp or something.
No, he just booted him in the face. He just super kicked him in the face when his face was like that far off the ground.
Oh yeah,
because
but
it's in the
Soyboy was on the ground though, right?
No, he was on the apron with him.
Okay, I can't remember the spot. Tell you the truth, but
yeah, I got one. Yeah.
There you
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Anyway, because like Rogue goes into that handstand and then meets Soy Boy's foot. That's what you get for your problems. I really enjoyed this match. I know that there was like it's obvious based on how his mannerisms were. Dalton is, I believe, a heel in Top Talent, and based again on his actions, Kody is obviously a face in Top Talent. I'm not entirely sure what Rich was. He definitely was playing to the crowd a little bit, but I got distinct LPW old rads out of him.
Again, I feel like he's that tweener guy. Depending on who he's working with, again, it's what you call a guy who's not face or heel. It's the tweener.
I was not privy to that one, no.
And it's like you when you play a face when you're fighting a heel, you play a heel when you're fighting a face. It's kind of what's happened. That's what Rich did in this match. He did heelish tactics to Kody, and he did facish tactics to Rogue. It's really what it was.
It was a little confusing for me, but I still really enjoyed the match. This was a match where I didn't care who was heel and who was face. I just cared that there was stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
All of these guys played to the crowd really, really nicely, which I'm very much into. Yeah, this was an incredible, high speed, just glorious, awesome chaos match. I'm enjoying that Dalton has the king of the triple threat. It's always nice to switch up the title every once in a while. I felt that TY did a pretty decent job once he got it. I would like to see him in the next triple threat though, just because I really enjoy TY's work and I feel that he excels in these matches. But yeah, otherwise, really, really solid match. I really enjoyed this. Again, that high speed, just crazy power stuff that they were doing, it just all over the place. It was so good. So good.
Yeah, again, crazy good match. Yeah, I'm like people texting me about money and stuff, tickets and yeah. But yeah, again, incredible match. And I'm gonna say this, Harlan Abbott, if you watch this, I don't know if you will. More Rich King in Top Talent Professional Wrestling, please. More Rich King. Let's go.
I would be more than okay with that.
Yeah.
That music was epic.
Yeah, again, I love his music. And again, I'm a Rich King homer forever because again, he's my trainer, he's my friend. I will always support that man because again, he's awesome. But yeah, more Rich King, more Rich King, more Rich King.
Does he give you more burpees if you don't talk nicely about him?
I don't think so. Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
you always say nice things about him, but like,
No, because I
interesting to
generally
test the
like the
water.
dude. I generally like the dude, and I think and I enjoy in wrestling. And I
Test it out sometime. Find out if you get punished.
yeah, no, thank you, I'm good. I'll just not, I'm not going to risk that. So next match was the feature. I would say one of the feature matches on this show. It's Mike Santana versus Gabriel Lestat. Chain wrestling early on, working each other's arms over early. Santana stays up off this Rana, like grab, like he goes for the Gabriel goes for the Rana, but Santana just grabs the rope and Gabriel goes crashing. And then he hits a Rana to Gabe, sending him out, and hits this beautiful drop kick through the ropes to Gabriel on the floor. Gabriel gets back in, hits up, and then sends Santana out and hits a plancha to him on the floor. They brawl around the outside of the ring. Gabriel hits a senton off the apron to Santana on the floor. Santana drops Gabriel like face first into the apron, hits this, and then like hits a drive-by kick. Look really good. And there's in the ring at one point, Santana gets a snapper and literally drop kicks Gabriel right in the back of the head, right in that that spot, what you shouldn't be hitting. He kicks him right in that spot. It was great. Gabriel gets this I would say almost like that high angle teardrop suplex. Shawn Michaels asked that he used to do back in the day. Is that very high angle backdrop, but you get a guy super up and you have him more under the leg than you do around the waist. Looked really good to Santana for 2. Gabriel gets the tarantula on the ropes, then goes up top, hits the double axe handle off the top, crowning him for 2. Gabriel misses the moonsault, and then they go into a series of reversal into the back roll, into it like this. Santana ends up in front of him, rolls backwards, and pops up into this cutter and gets a 2 count. I love the roll, the back roll into the cutter. Looked really good by Santana there. Santana catches Gabriel jumping and hits him with a beautiful Death Valley driver for 2. Huge leaping cannonball into the corner. I would say the best cannonball in the show because the way he launched and flipped through the air is and he jumps from a lot farther out than I see a lot of people do cannonballs. It's like a leap, like Shane Hayes style cannonball. If you think about it, Mel, he leaps from farther out and flips into it. That's what Santana does, and it looked incredible. Then they go into this sequence of rolling around, each trying to pin, and Gabriel catches a very sneaky small package for the 1, 2, 3, and the win. And fun match. I had a good time watching this one.
I had a good smoke.
Again, Mike Santana, man, I'm super impressed with that cannonball that he does in the corner. It's the same way Shane Hayes does. It's that leaping, in very acrobatic style cannonball. Looks so good, man. And I always slept on Santana when he was in AEW, and then watching him here, I'm like, man, this guy is so good. They should have done so much more with him. He should have got so much more push in AEW for sure.
Why do we always say this about people when they leave AEW? I say it about Jon Moxley too. I don't like Jon Moxley's AEW stuff, but put him in NJPW and he's freaking tremendous. I'm not a fan of Eddie. Did I say Eddie Kingston or did I say Jon Moxley?
You said Moxley first.
ADHD. Eddie Kingston, same thing. I don't really like his AEW work, but you throw him in an NJPW ring and that guy is freaking fire. Why am I forgetting the tag team? They were ROH, but I don't hear a ton about them, but then they were so good in the World Tag League. Why am I forgetting their names? The dreadhead guy and the guy with no shoes.
Oh God, it's Toa Leona and his partner. Oh jeez, Gates of Agony.
There we go. I was going to say House of Torture. They're surrounded by the gates of agony. Yeah. Them. I don't hear a ton about them, but I hear so much about them. Like, well, I hear so much about them in NGPW because that's what I watch. I Bry D, Dippity Doo Da Day, same thing. I'm not a big fan of his AEW stuff, but put him in NGPW with Okada Kazuchika.
That Saber match was incredible. Actually, but like his Saber match in AEW was also really incredible too. But that's very different. It's very
Yeah.
Saber rolling.
Zack Sabre Jr. is one of those people who's incapable of having a bad match. He's just so experienced at this point. But yeah, I don't have anything to add to this one, obviously.
Perfect. We move on. Main event of the evening, no holds barred. Bobby Sharp, Andy Anderson. This was two dudes just beating the piss out of each other, using weapons to beat the piss of each other. They're using ladders, using chairs. This is how you use a cookie sheet because Andy just waffled Bobby with that cookie sheet at one point. Andy got his nose broken.
Looking at you, Jules.
Andy got his nose broken, broke his own nose when he's, or I don't know if he broke his nose, but it just sort of, because he smashed the chair into the, and it hit the rope and it bounced back in his face. And then just after that is when his nose started bleeding.
His nose was bloody the entire match, too. But you know what? It added to the overall feel and intensity for me with this match because these guys were, this has been one of the main, if not the only story that Top Talent has been working on for the last number of months now, and it's so fracking good. Like
Yeah.
you can't not have a good match with the heeliest heel that's ever healed in the history of healing in Alberta in Andy Anderson. But then you have this Lion Warrior hero in Bobby Sharp defending his honor, defending his wife's honor, defending the company's honor. Like it was so emotional and so good. Take us into some more stuff.
Again, this match started on the stage where they were brawling on the stage. And he just attacked Bobby during his entrance. It was crazy. Again, Bobby diving off the second rope with a chair, like going Sabu style and landing on the chair onto Andy. Like just so much crazy stuff. This spot on the floor, he takes Bobby and just slams him into the chair, like trying to wreck the windpipe. Just
guillotine style, isn't it?
What?
Would it be guillotine style? Is that what that is?
Guillotine style, just crushing the windpipe. As I call it, it's the razor's edge, but as I call it, the camel toss, because Sheik popular, it was Sheik's move forever. He does that to Bobby onto a trash can at one point. Just some crazy shit throughout. Andy's whipping Bobby with this, like, it was, those ropes you use at the gym to, like, your arms going up and down. It was one of those rope, and he's just whipping Bobby. Those things are not, like, light, and those things are big, thick ropes. That's what this rope look like, and he's just whipping Bobby with it. Andy misses with
a
chair.
Choke him with it at one point?
Yeah, I choked him with it, too. Just crazy. Just Bobby spearing Andy on the floor after he missed with a chair. The ref starts counting them out, and everybody in the crowd's like, "What are you doing? It still holds part." The ref just kind of stops, like counting. It was really weird. I don't know why he started. I don't know why he started. It was Avon, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the ref that we like the least on this show.
I love Avon to death. Don't get me wrong; he's an actual friend of mine. I worked with him for a few years when I was working with RCW. But come on, dude, that was a bad call. It's just so dumb. They've been fighting on the outside for the whole match, and now you start counting. I was like, what the hell, dude?
Made no sense.
Bobby starts hitting Andy with the ladder in the ring. He runs Andy into it in the corner, and this is where Andy's like begging Bobby. But this is where Bobby like just smacks him with, like, lariats him with the rope. He ties Andy up, puts the goddamn ladder on top, or then he starts. First he starts beating him with a chair, just viciously. Then he puts the ladder on top of him, goes to the top. Lion Warrior Frog Splash off the top. He pins both Andy and the ladder. So technically the ladder beat Andy and Bobby beat the ladder. 1, 2, 3. Bobby Sharp dispels Andy Anderson.
For now.
For now. But again, it's just such a great cap to the feud they've been having. It just these two dudes just beating the living hell out of each other, and nobody
It
fell in the
was,
hole here.
yeah, no hole falls. Despite
Almost.
being there were some close calls for sure, but despite this match, I believe being the one match they had the people outside of the ring the most, I was surprised that this one had the least hole falls. Mind you, there was way less people in this match than there were, for example, in the scramble, or in that, not in the scramble, in the fatal four-way, four-corner
Yeah.
elimination tag. That's a lot of shit to describe one match. Yeah, this again, the match was made very intense with Andy's nose being bloodied. There was a lot of really awesome points where Andy started like yelling at Bobby, really, I think, moving forward the story a little bit. I'm not gonna lie though, I was second row. I couldn't hear what he was saying. The crowd was so into this match that they were either cheering or booing so loudly that you couldn't hear anything, which doesn't surprise me. Like, we've booed Andy Anderson out of the Nate building before. So, like, this wasn't surprising to me that he was able to evoke this kind of emotion from this crowd, and this crowd was on fire and ready for it too. Um, I really, really enjoyed the end, like the
Mm-hmm.
post match. Bobby does his little celebration. He kind of hoops off. Ivan comes in and does his little announcement. Hope to see you next time. Blah blah blah. Toodaloos. And Andy is still in the ring, tied up under the ladder. He's just laying there. It was a really fun way to kind of end the match because it kept it going.
And then they dumped
Kept
water on him to wake him up at one point. I was watching. It was
Yeah,
so funny.
afterward, and then they're trying to get him out of there. And I don't think they actually untied him. I think they just got him up and took him into the back. I don't know if they actually untied him.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. It was pretty
You know,
funny.
it speaks to the experience of both these men because Bobby has been on fire this last year. I mean, he's the belt collector right now of Western Alberta. He's kind of dripping in gold right now. He's one of those more charismatic, facey kind of wrestlers when he's not, until he's not, because I think CWE he's a heel. But
Yeah, sometimes.
yeah, he's doing extremely well. But Andy, holy heckin' crap! As I said earlier, the heeliest heel to have ever healed in the history of healing in Alberta. This man is getting on fire too. If you're living under a rock, you wouldn't know that Andy Anderson's been traveling and really taking his heel stuff on the road and just massacring some of the people in some of these companies surrounding the Edmonton area. It has been incredible to watch him just plow through everybody and doing it in his unique way because he gives me 80s heel vibes. Very much modeled after someone like Iron Sheik or like
Very much so.
the way he can get so savage and vicious with what he says, it's like very Bobby Heenan as well. He's a very, very smart worker when it comes to in-ring psychology. So I'm not surprised that this match was as banger of a match as it was.
Hmm.
And to have it end with this was just the perfect way to end this show.
Yeah. Again, it was just phenomenal. Like just
Mhm.
a beautiful cap on the end of the show. There's one spot, Andy, at one point though, is all the blood. He goes over to the side of the ring, just goes,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh my
I
god, it was so gross." Oh, and again, he didn't even do it to our side. He did to the other one of the other sides, and
it
I'm just
was
like, ugh, ugh.
yeah, it was still yucky. But as someone who has had a nosebleed at the most inopportune times, it's got to come out at some point. It's either going out or it's going in, and I would rather not have the upset stomach from swallowing that much blood.
Mhm.
Better get it out.
And then on this show, they made a big old announcement for May 10th, their next show. Here it is. Mustafa Ali is coming to Top Talent Pro Wrestling. He will be here May 10th. Me, Mel, and the Horde all have gotten our tickets already. So, and I got another buddy who wants to come to this, just messaging me. So, sending me money. I'm going to buy his ticket. So,
I have three. I've got 3 from the gym coming.
Plus another friend of ours. She's joining the Horde at this show, like officially joining the Horde. She's always been like a part of the Horde, but she's officially joining the Horde. Oh my God, I can't wait. Mustafa Ali, so good. He's such he's an incredible professional wrestler. Again, this is a guy WWE just wasted. He is so good. He's been killing it in TNA. I can't wait to talk to him about the match that he's still going to have on April 12th with Hiromu Takahashi. I can't wait to ask him about working with Hiromu Takahashi. Like, dude, I can't.
Oh my God, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then we get to see him a month later. It seems like Top Talent's going to be running every 67 weeks because, again, they ran February 9th. 6 weeks later, they did the March 22nd show. This is 7 weeks later. So, again, it seems like what they're going to be, their pattern's going to be. It seems like, anyways.
I mean, more wrestling, the better for us, right? I mean, that means more content for us. That means more Horde time for us. That means more opportunities to expand the Horde.
True.
Good times.
Eventually, we're going to have to charge memberships to the Horde, make some money off this Horde.
No.
Make some money off it.
Yeah. No, we are the money.
I want money.
Oh, dear.
I'll start charging everybody for their membership, and you can just not take anything.
Rude.
You said you are the money, but I want the money, so I'll just charge people for it.
Greedy.
That's right. That's who I am. But we have come to the end of another edition of Chop Talk. I want to thank y'all so very much for tuning in here. Just killing time because I got my manager. You can find me on the X and not really on Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk page over there, or you can find us on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. Don't forget to go over to SundayNightsMainEvent.com to check out all of our Japanese wrestling content is put over there in audio form. And if you want to support them, go to patreon.com/SNME Radio, $4 American per month to support them for a lot of great stuff and no ads on there. Don't forget, go over to twitch.tv/our local establishment to see all the great content on our partners at OLE. You can see a lot of great replays over at youtube.com/@our local establishment, where you can find the replay of myself, Bobby Munson, and that Ecto guy, Alex, doing the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire review this coming Wednesday. Myself, OLED, and our special guest, the humanoid freak, Andreas, will be breaking down the Avengers movie. So check that out on our MCU Rebound. And then Friday, me and Mo will come to you, hopefully coming to you. And I did say this on the Go to the Stream, hopefully coming to you with a Japanese wrestling update. This is a very, very busy week, but we'll try to put something together on either Wednesday or Thursday so it comes out on Friday. Just something for you. But then we'll be back live April 5th in the afternoon. I don't know what time yet. And we're going to be talking Stardom, American Dream. Let's go. That's an S, yeah.
So this is what they do on the thing. Please let it be right.
Yeah. Stardom, American Dream at that's on April 4th. We're going to be talking about it on April 5th on very special edition of Japanese Wrestling Update / Stardom Review. We're going to talk all about that and Julia's match with Master Slamovich at the GCW show. That starts at 11:59 p.m. on April 4th. Yeah.
Let's hope Melball can still make the gym.
No, I'm not watching that till the morning, so don't worry. I'll send you the match link in the morning.
Thank goodness.
And then one more shout out to our boy Mike the Ref, who simulcasts all of our stuff over at Backbreaker Video, youtube.com/@backbreakervideo. Thank you all so much for joining us on either there or on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. We love all the support. You can also support Mike by going to twitch.tv/Mike the Rev. Give him a follow over there so you can be alerted every time he does content over there. He has his AEW watch alongs every Wednesday and Saturday, which do get replayed on Backbreaker Video. And then he has great gaming content all the other days of the week, playing all different kinds of video games. He's changing it up constantly. He's got sports, he's got fantasy, he's got platforming, he's got everything. Go check that out. If you want to say replay the world's great gaming content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming. We can find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, whose sticker I still haven't picked up. It's been days. And also the freaking guest, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J.
Kayla J.
We love Kayla J.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Melball, where can they find you?
Breaking my fingers trying to make a damn heart. That's where you can find me. Just do the millennial one, I guess.
Technically, it's like
If you're
the heart's shaped like that more. It's more like a potato because the heart's more shaped like a potato in real life. The heart is that
just make perfect sense that a heart is a potato.
Did you know the heart is actually created by advertisers and it's actually a lady's butt flipped upside down with a point at the bottom? Yeah.
Fun facts on Andre and Melballs. That being said, if you're wanting to follow a Melball on her socials, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. Are you okay over there?
Just loving life.
You can also find me on our local establishment's programming, as Andre mentioned, Japanese Wrestling Update. Hopefully we can get that episode out to you this week, but regularly it'll be out on Fridays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time with all your latest news and updates on NJPW and Stardom Wrestling. You can also find me on Astra Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We are having an episode coming out this week, and the next episode we are hoping we have a very special guest on, so stick tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. If you're wanting to go to a Top Talent show, we will leave a link in the description box down below. It is toptalentwrestling.com. You can go there. You can check out all of their stuff for their schooling as well. If you're wanting to become a professional wrestler, a referee, a manager, I'm sure they can teach you how to be a valet too. It's not that hard though. Just be pretty. Not everyone can be Gussy though. It's hard to reach the talent of Gussy.
Yeah, I can't
But
be.
you can also
I can't be as pretty as Gussy.
I know, right? It's the suspenders. He's just got such a shiny set of suspenders. You can also find the link to their tickets for the show on there. So come on down and see Mustafa Ali and come join the Horde.
The Horde.
Andre. Horde. My trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you so very much for supporting the show. Please keep liking the videos, whether if you're on your Melball Wrestling Talk or Backbreaker. Please keep liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below. Please keep sharing us out to all your friends, family, weird little creatures from across the universe, and all those and Buckaroo Banzai from the 8th Dimension. And don't forget to alert us every time and go hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding down.
Karate chop.
Well, you're summoning 8th dimension things. I need to be on my best behavior. I need to find my kendo stick.
I need
don't
to
even know if that'll work.
I need to introduce you to Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. I really need to.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about when you say that.
Peter, it's a grehave movie. We'll have fun watching it.
And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah.